They say blood is thicker than water, but they forget that blood is a lot harder to clean up. My mother secretly drained my entire college fund to pay off her gambling debts, then blamed me for losing the scholarship. Years later, after I built myself up from nothing, she tried to do the same to my younger sister. I stepped in and made sure the only person who paid the debt was her. I grew up believing my mother was a martyr. She worked 2 jobs, wore old clothes, and constantly reminded me how much she was sacrificing for my college fund. I was the scapegoat, the one who did the chores, the one who stayed quiet, the one who studied until 2 a.m. because that fund was my only ticket out. 2 weeks before my first semester at a top-tier university, the accident happened. My mother sat me down, tears streaming down her face, and told me the bank had made an error. The college fund, $60,000, was gone. Worse, she told the rest of the family that I'd lost my scholarship due to a disciplinary issue she was too embarrassed to talk about. I was devastated. I lost my spot, my reputation, and 5 years of my life working 3 manual labor jobs to get back on my feet. I never questioned her. I actually felt guilty for stressing her out. 10 years passed. I had clawed my way into a successful career in corporate auditing. My mother lived with my younger sister, Chloe, the golden child. Chloe had just been accepted to medical school. My mother was back to her old tricks, playing the martyr, claiming she was saving every penny for Chloe's tuition. I visited them for dinner one night and saw the look in my mother's eyes. It wasn't pride, it was hunger. I went into the kitchen to help with the dishes and noticed a stack of mail hidden behind the microwave. I recognized the envelopes. They were final notices from a local casino and several high-interest credit lines. The college fund wasn't missing because of a bank error. It was being fed into slot machines in the next county over. I realized then that my entire life had been built on a lie. She hadn't sacrificed for me. She had harvested me. And now, she was preparing to harvest Chloe. I tried to tell Chloe. I showed her the credit notices. But Chloe was the golden child. She had been shielded from the reality of our mother's nature for 20 years. "You're just jealous," Chloe screamed at me. "Mom loves me. She would never do that. You're just bitter because you failed, and I'm succeeding." My mother walked in, wearing her practiced victim mask. She didn't deny the gambling. She simply looked at Chloe and said, "Your brother has always been unstable. He's trying to ruin your big moment because he couldn't handle his own." The rest of the family took her side. My aunts called me a traitor. My uncles told me to stay out of family business. I realized that the truth doesn't matter when people are addicted to the lie. If I wanted to save Chloe, I had to stop being the unstable brother and start being the villain they thought I was. I didn't argue. I went quiet. But I used my professional access to run a deep dive audit on my mother's finances. I found exactly what I expected. She had forged Chloe's signature on several Parent Plus loans, totaling over $100,000. She wasn't just spending the savings. She was saddling Chloe with a lifetime of debt before she even attended her first lecture. I called 2 old friends from the docks, the kind of men who know how to navigate the gray areas of the law. We didn't break into her house. I had the spare key I never returned. We walked in at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. My mother was at the kitchen table, her laptop open to an online poker site, Chloe's social security card sitting right next to her mousepad. "The audit is finished, Mom," I said. She tried to scream, but Sal, one of my friends, placed a heavy hand on the laptop, closing it. "We're here to collect the debt," he said. I showed her the records of the forged signatures. I showed her the evidence of the $60,000 she stole from me 10 years ago. "I'm calling the police," she hissed. "Go ahead," I replied. "Tell them about the identity theft. Tell them about the $100,000 in fraudulent loans in Chloe's name. Tell them why your own son has a notarized confession from the casino manager about your weekly donations." Something snapped. Seeing her look at me with that same predatory hunger she used to hide behind martyrdom made me see red. I didn't hit her. I did something much worse. I made her watch as I transferred every cent of her retirement home equity, the only thing she had left, into a trust fund for Chloe that she could never touch. I forced her to sign the confession. She wept, calling me a monster. She said I was killing my own mother. I told her I was just finally balancing the books. I sent the confession to Chloe and the rest of the family. The golden child's world shattered. She finally saw the monster in the martyr's clothing. My mother is now living in a state-run facility, her house gone, her reputation in tatters. The family still blames me. They say I was too cold. They say I should have handled it privately. They call me the villain of the story for bankrupting an old woman. But Chloe is in medical school. Her debt is gone. Her future is safe. I don't care if the world thinks I'm a monster. I spent 10 years paying for her lies. I wasn't going to let my sister spend her whole life doing the same. I realized that sometimes the only way to save the family is to burn the person holding the matches. They say blood is thicker than water, but they forget that blood is a lot harder to clean up.